All right, so this will be the testimonial questions for Success Clothing. The introduction questions. The first one is going to be, before we begin, can you introduce yourself and share what being a Tóxica means to you today?
Mia Ortega is my name, and being a Tóxica means to me power and strength, and yeah.
If you had to describe your journey in one word before your healing, what would that word be?
Defeated. Always defeated.
Okay. So we're going to go into the toxic experience. What was a toxic environment, relationship, or situation that had the biggest impact on you?
There's so many. But probably the main one was just recently, actually. I just went through a very toxic relationship. And it's still a struggle, to be honest, because I'm coming at the tail end of really acknowledging how toxic it really was, and how I'm still thinking how I ended up in that situation, or how I stayed for such a long time. So I'm still figuring that part out, I think.
And when did you first realize that something wasn't right, that this was affecting your mental health, your emotional and physical well-being?
Pretty early on, to be honest with you. It was like 6 months in. And just to give some context, we were in a full-on relationship for a year. And then for a year following, we were basically in a situation. That part was even more toxic than the first part. But I noticed really early on that I just felt like I could never trust him. That's the truth.
Okay. And what was the hardest part about being in that toxic space?
Not being able to trust myself.
What does that look like, or what did that look like for you?
It was really scary, honestly. I mean, I was, just lost and consumed. It consumed all of my energy constantly. And so any good thing that happened to me was completely consumed by that. So it wasn't really good.
Okay.
And that's part of being defeated.
And did you ever feel stuck? And if you did, what made you feel that you couldn't leave or change your situation at first?
Oh. Well, I mean, indoctrination. I never thought I would say that word, but like people do that too. And that's what made me feel stuck. I was indoctrinated. I was truly conditioned to think that was all I was ever good enough for.
Yeah.
And really I was really, really made to feel like everything was my fault. And that I was just this crazy person. Even though I knew what I was feeling was not good.
When in that situation, you said you felt like you're indoctrinated. Can you go and elaborate a little more on that?
Well, I mean, whenever you're dealing with an abusive person, they're always indoctrinated. It's grooming, conditioning, whatever you want to call it. They all mean the same thing. In that situation, absolutely. Because even a cult leader is abusing you, right? So they're still indoctrinated. And so just because it's not a cult leader, just because it's your partner, doesn't mean it's any different. That the act is any less malicious. It's not. It's just on a smaller scale. And it took. I've watched years of true crime shows, and honestly, it helps me understand these people, because had I not, I'd be oblivious, just like other people, and still be in it. So, just brainwashed, completely brainwashed.
And you had mentioned that there's abuse. What type of abuse did you experience?
emotional and psychological abuse, absolutely. And it's very damaging, and it makes you question every single part of your being. You might know exactly who you are, but until you get in that situation, you really lose, every sense that you thought you had.
Yeah. Are you able to give an example that others may be able to resonate with?
Well, gaslighting. I never knew that gaslighting was a thing. But knowing that I was completely right about something and then telling me that I'm wrong was so hard. Like, you're just like, wow, is this really happening? And then also, like, when you know deep down that you're, I don't want to say right or wrong, but you're not in it for the bad. You're in it for the good, but there's just something bad going on. But it's crazy how people can have fake lives. And they make, it's like a magician, right? They make everything look one way to people, but if you really look, it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's, and I think a lot of times everyone sees it. They just tell themselves they don't because they want to stay in the things that they think are good.
And what we talked about earlier, how they want to live in this illusion, they want to avoid the reality.
They want to avoid the reality. Mm-hmm. So, especially an abuser or a predator is what I call them, like that, is someone who looks for someone of a lower economic status, and can definitely, use money to bully them, and to make you feel inferior, and so, well, of course it's just another line of abuse and to keep someone down so that you can control them.
Yeah. And those are things you experienced?
Absolutely. He was an economics major also.
Oh.
Very smart guy.
Yeah. So what was your breaking point, the moment that you decided that you deserved better?
Talking to people. Don't keep it to yourself. That is one thing I'm going to say. Never keep it to yourself, even no matter how bad they make you feel for it, even if you are going to suffer for it. Never keep it to yourself. Always tell people, because they see things you don't see. And talking to my sister, even talking to my best friend, it was a lot of talking. And I think she was like me. We hoped for the better. But my sister, she always saw it. And she told me the truth. And was like, Mia, you deserve better. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. And that was my breaking point. And I still let it continue, but that's when I started to see the patterns. It took me a long time. It's been 3 weeks since I've talked to you. So it still took me a long time after that.
Okay.
But no road to healing is fast.
Yeah, I agree with that, or else it wouldn't mean, right? It wouldn't mean, it wouldn't have its meaning, it wouldn't have its purpose.
Yeah.
And it does take time. Who or what, and I think you might have already answered this, who or what gave you the strength to take that first step forward for healing or leaving?
My sister, yeah, definitely. I always call her my last resort. She's the one that's always going to give it to me straight. She's never going to tell me what I want to hear. She's always ultimately going to tell me what's good for me. No matter what.
Okay.
She's just honest like that. I'm very lucky to have someone like her.
I think everyone needs that person who's direct and straightforward, respectfully
Holds you accountable.
Correct.
Helps you hold yourself accountable is really what she does. She reminds me, she's my coach, if you will. She reminds me who the fuck I really am. Always.
Yeah, that's good.
And
that's
what
awesome.
I love about her.
That's good. And that's your older sister?
Yeah, Olivia.
That's good. What was the first decision that you made that started to change your life?
Just action. Just the first is to, like, recently, I mean, I've changed my life many times for the better, you know, but now, I mean, it's just really taking my own advice and really listening to myself. That's the difference, really, now.
Listening to yourself.
Just listening to myself.
Yeah.
Trusting myself and not letting anyone take that away from me.
That's good. I like that. So we're going to go into the healing and the rise. What helped you heal or rebuild after leaving the toxic experience?
My job.
The new one?
Yeah, honestly, true. All the things that I was going through, even just the recent, hardships, like going to work every day and having a true sense of like belonging, but also knowing my purpose of what I was doing there, and really being allowed to be myself. And the fact that they trusted me as a professional, it was really empowering. And so, what I do is enroll people in coaching. And so I used a lot of, just the simple coaching tactics on myself. And I use it every day still. And it's helping me so much.
And I think you have a really cool job personally.
It is. It's
Would you be able to elaborate if you were allowed to?
So I probably can't name drop, but yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, I enroll people in very specific elite life coaching. And we definitely, go deep into patterns and pattern recognition and pattern creation and help people to thrive in all areas of their life with this coaching versus this area or that area. Some people only need that, but not many. Almost everyone needs all of it. And I've had my one-offs, but I really, really get to help people change themselves, starting with themselves. And that's an amazing thing to witness.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
What part of yourself did you regain or just rediscover?
Confidence.
And what does that look like for you?
Just, strength and finding strength in vulnerability. And I teach people that all the time, so I definitely have to learn it. This is me being very vulnerable. I definitely don't normally do things like this. So.
I appreciate this a lot.
But yeah, it's there's strength in vulnerability always. And I just believe in that, so I have to live by it.
Good. How has your mindset changed since you've overcome that chapter of your life?
I'm just happier.
Yeah?
I just feel that so I know I'm going to still have down days because, I struggle with something that comes with depression no matter what I do. However, it's a lot easier to cope when you have the right tools. And I have access to the right tools, and I have access to the right family, and I have great relationships. With people that really matter to me, and not a lot of people have that.
No, I agree. And that's a great support system.
So it is. And so I use it and I give it. So, but they're my people. They always have been, but things just get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. What does confidence look like for you now compared to then?
Well, I mean, genuine. A lot of times I had to fake my confidence all the time. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I definitely, even with being sober, becoming sober, I knew my mission, but I didn't always know. I wasn't always confident about it. I mean, in my sobriety, yes. Because no matter what, I made a decision. I was never, ever, ever going to let anything take that from me, ever. I might have lost my trust, and I might have lost myself, and I might have lost a lot of things, but I was never going to lose my sobriety. And so I just have to I have to put myself with that stuff. And that's what I'm doing. And that's the difference. Genuinely getting there.
Yeah. Good. All right, so now we're going to go into the message to women going through it now. So this is where you'll really start to make that impact and letting them know, like, hey, this is my message to you. So the first question is, what would you tell someone who is stuck in a toxic environment right now and feels like they can't get out?
You always have someone to call. Even when you feel like you have no one. You always do. Always. Tell anybody, tell everybody. And don't isolate. Even if you feel like you have nobody. You'd be surprised how many people actually do care or are listening.
Yes.
When you think that they're not.
Good. What do you want women to know about their worth and their strength?
It all starts with you. And one of the biggest parts about having inner strength and loving yourself is holding yourself accountable.
Accountability.
You have to make peace and forgive yourself. Make peace with those things. Because it's kind of like you can't, once you do that, it's easy to leave anything that's not good for you.
Good. That's good. Let's see. Next question is, if a younger version of you was watching this video today, what message would you give her?
Trust your gut. Trust your gut. And do things for you. For your reason, not anyone else's.
So now we'll go into the connection to Tóxicas. Why did you choose to be a part of Tóxicas?
Well, I mean, I love the message, honestly. There has to be more awareness of, of toxicity in general. Of how people can seem completely normal and fun-loving and friendly, and they're really terrorizing someone.
Have bad intentions or bad motives.
Yeah, they're literally terrorizing people. They're predatory, and they're quiet about it. Mm-hmm. And they are very good at making you look dumb and making them look like they're the hero. Very good. And so once we start to stick together and start talking about this, they can't do that.
Correct.
We take away their power. Because anonymity keeps them in power.
Yes.
But the more we talk about it, we take away their power.
Correct. Good. How does this brand represent your journey or the woman you've become?
I mean, I think even just, what I said, just, you can't, strength comes from experience, and I just, and being aware, that's my message, that's my mission, is taking something toxic and turning it into what it should be, which is a lesson of awareness, of, putting a stop to it. And I think that one of the things, honestly, is the mothers out there need to think about their young men, children.
Yeah.
Because it starts with them. Every problem that a man has is because of with women. That's the damn truth. I don't care if anyone fights me on that, but it's the truth. So be good to your sons and teach them how to treat women. Teach them respect.
I like it. Good answer. What does sisterhood mean to you, especially for women who've survived toxicity?
Empowerment. We need to empower each other. Because like I said, once we empower each other, we take the power of the toxicity away. That becomes powerless. But I mean, and true support, no judging. You can't have support with judging. That's conditional support, and it doesn't factor into this.
So we'll go on to the closing questions. There's 3 questions. The first one is, what is your I survived this moment that you're most proud of?
Well, my last drink. I can't believe I survived that one. And then, checking myself into a rehab 3 days later. I know, that's the moment I'm most proud of. I'll always be most proud of that moment. And it was a very dark moment. And I'm surprised I did survive, honestly. But yeah, and that night keeps me in check, always. Not that I have a problem, but I never miss it. I don't miss it. I don't ever think about going back, ever. But I do think about that night a lot. Because it's part of my story, it is part of my healing, and it's it should be part of a lot of people's awareness of what happens when you let yourself get to that point.
Would you say that's a part of your strength?
Absolutely.
So finish the sentence. I am a toxica because...
I am the survivor.
And what is the legacy you want to leave for women watching this?
You have all the power. Even if you don't know it. Find your power.